So this is the first use case we're going to demo with Alera. So this demo is going to deal with asset allocation, and it's going to be using the file system in Alera, which is I guess the most basic way you can send signals. And we're going to be following this portfolio right here. So it's called the Ray Dalio All-Weather Portfolio, and it's fairly simple. So what it does is it holds a constant 30% in VTI, 40% in TLT, 15% in IEI, 7.5% in gold, and 7.5% in GSG. And I've gotten those signals written down here. So this is the file that Alera is going to use. And as you can see, I've replicated the values here. And the signals are relatively simple. So you have long, VTI, 30% portfolio, and the rest of them are like that as well. So first thing is to click order preview here so that we can actually view what orders Alera will put in. And as you can see, we have buy and then quantity 183 VTI and so on for the rest of them. And one thing to note is that our portfolio is we allocated over here $100,000 USD. So that means that we should expect 30K VTI, 40K TLT, and so on. And so once we've done our order preview, we can close it and then we can run our strategy here. And then we can see the positions coming in live like that. And now when we look at our value, we can actually see that the value of each position is what we expected, almost exactly, because we can't buy a fractional number of shares. But as you can see, GLD, which is 7.5K, GSG 7.5K, TLT 40K, VTI 30K. So it's all approximately correct here. And this is kind of the idea behind this. So it's generally just a rebalancing strategy. So if we decide to run this rebalancing every week, we can look at our scheduler here. So the scheduler is already set to run at 9 a.m. every Monday. And it uses this cron string to do the scheduling. So it looks a little bit complicated, but you can learn it fairly simply. And then we also have documentation on it on our website. So if you open up, if you hover over here, you can see the dates that it'll run at. So it tells you at 9 a.m. only on Monday, and it says August 3rd, 9 a.m., August 10, 9 a.m., August 17, 9 a.m. So that's kind of what the schedule is, and that's how you would be able to schedule to run every Monday. So now suppose that we decide to run our file again. You'll notice that if we look in our strategy log, that there were actually no orders placed, so the positions didn't change, and that's because we didn't change our allocation of our portfolio, and the prices didn't move much in the last couple minutes. So that tells us that we can run this again by accident, or we can run it again in a little bit from now, and it won't really change our portfolio. One thing we can do, though, to demo portfolio changes, we can change the allocation. So say here we want to change it to 5% and 10%, and we save it. Now we do order preview, and now you'll notice that it'll actually put new orders in. So it's going to sell 14 GLD because we decreased our allocation, and it's going to buy 233 GSG because we increased our allocation. Yeah, so we can go and run that and see the changes occur here. And now you'll see that GSG is at 10,000 US dollars and GLD is at around 5,000 US dollars, as we expected. And you might also be wondering what will happen day to day. So suppose you run this every day, and you run it at 7.5% every day, but you don't want to be trading $10 or $20 worth of stock because it's not worth the commission, and there's no point in trading it. You can actually go here and in this order limits, and then you can change the min order value to some number. So for example, you could change it to 5,000 USD or 1,000 USD, and that'll make sure that you only place orders that are over that amount. And that way you can kind of keep your rebalancing in check if you decide to run it more often. And you might also be wondering, well, why would I do this with Alera when I can just do it manually? And something simple like this is very doable manually, but when you run into more positions that you want to hold, and when you also want to run multiple strategies at the same time, it becomes very time consuming to go and do every single position manually. And you have to go and compute, oh, exactly how much do I want to trade? Do I want to do this or that? Alera does it as accurately as possible, and it gets everything correct every time. And you also don't have to remember to run it. It'll run by itself as long as you set up a scheduler. So those are the main advantages. And once again, this is a very simple example of the most basic thing you can do with Alera in a rebalancing strategy. So keep that in mind as we move forward, that we'll get into more and more complicated applications